Very good afternoon, viewers and my dear students. Today we will discuss about the biogeochemical cycle. Okay, so a part of it is discussed in our previous lecture. Okay, so today we will discuss the rest of its part, that is another cycle, that is nitrogen cycle. Okay, so my dear viewers, this is Dr. Sudha Behura, HOD Environmental Science, Raghunath Jeev Degree College, and for the use of or for the benefit of students and all those persons those have interest in environmental issues, and this particular lecture series is based for undergraduate students, because you all know that there is one compulsory paper, that is Aecc 1, Environment Study and Disaster Management, in your first semester. So it is compulsory for you to learn all these things, and in some another class I will discuss the entire syllabus, means what are there in your syllabus you have to learn. Okay, so in the entire syllabus you have 4 units, and now in this lecture we have discussing about the a part of your first unit. Okay, so we have already covered 3 classes of the your unit 1. Okay, in which we have discussed on different aspects. You can check my earlier videos for those updates. Okay, so without any further late, now let us discuss about the nitrogen cycle. What do we mean by nitrogen cycle, and how it operates in the ecosystem, and why it is important for us. Okay, so in this lecture series I have also planned to bring some MCQs. Okay, multiple choice question, which will help you in your upcoming examinations, that is in your university examinations, in your midterm examination, that you can appear your examination properly, thoroughly, by proper understanding. Okay, so now come to our matter of discussion, that is nitrogen cycle. So dear students, as you know, nitrogen is one important component of our environment. Okay, so if you will analyze the composition of the atmosphere, then you will see that out of the entire air mass, 78% is covered by your nitrogen. Okay, so this nitrogen is present in gaseous form in the atmosphere, but this nitrogen is required for all the living organisms for the growth, for their you can say for their growth and different life activities. Okay, so how we can define this nitrogen cycle? So we can say the continuous sequence of natural processes by which nitrogen in the atmosphere and nitrogenous compounds, okay, in the soil are converted as by nitrification and nitrogen fixation. Okay, so there are total 5 steps in the entire cycle. So I have explained you in my previous class that what do we mean by a cycle. Cycle means from a point the substance will release, and it will again come to that original point in a cycling pathway, isn't it? So in this way, how nitrogen moves in our abiotic and biotic component of the ecosystems, that we will see here. Then if we will look to the history, means back to the centuries, then we will see in the year 1891 your Winogradsky, okay, one scientist, Winogradsky, discovers the organisms responsible for nitrification in soil, which is great importance in agriculture, because nitrogen is a limiting nutrient in the soil. Okay, so you know that out of the macronutrients, nitrogen is one important nutrient. Sometimes plant avail it naturally and sometimes we apply it in the soil by synthetic fertilizers or through your organic composts. Okay, so in the year 1897 another scientist, that is M.W. Beijerinck, discovered symbiosis nitrogen fixer rhizobium. You know there is one rhizobium who fixes the atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, so who discovered this? M.W. Beijerinck. So now come to the nitrogen is a part of amino acid. You know that amino acid is a basic molecule of our body, and also nitrogen is a part of proteins and nucleic acids and is often a limiting plant nutrient, and many other use of nitrogen is there. So nitrogen plays a great role in our life. All organisms require nitrogen to live and grow, and the main availability of nitrogen is the atmosphere, as I told. Then nitrogen are including two forms. One is inorganic, another is organic. So you know what do we mean by inorganic substance and organic. Okay. So where from this nitrogen come means we can say sources of nitrogen, lightning. Okay. So when lightning occurs in the nature, so naturally nitrogen forms. Then inorganic fertilizers, as I told you that sometimes we apply inorganic fertilizer in the agricultural field. Then nitrogen fixation, animal residues, crop residues and organic fertilizers, these are the main sources of nitrogen. And there are different forms of nitrogen. Okay, like your urea, then your ammonia NH3, then ammonium NH4, nitrate NO3, nitrite NO2, atmospheric dinitrogen. Okay, that means N2, and organic nitrogen. So these are various forms of nitrogen. Those are available in different components of your environment. Okay, then what does this nitrogen plays the role in our life? So plants and bacteria use nitrogen in the form of ammonia, ammonium ion or NO3 nitrate. Okay, it serves as an electron acceptor in anaerobic environment. So what does you mean by anaerobic? Anaerobic means in the absence of oxygen. So in the absence of oxygen, this nitrogen acts as one electron acceptor. Then nitrogen is often the most limiting nutrient in soil and water. So in soil and water, as all these animals and plants require nitrogen as a macronutrient, but it has very limiting supply. Okay, so limiting nutrient in soil and water. So look, there are 5 main steps to the nitrogen cycle. So what are the 5 main steps? So first step is your nitrogen fixation, second is ammonification, third is nitrification, then assimilation, and at last denitrification. Okay, so what do we mean by that? So you see the picture in nitrogen cycle how this happens. So plants are here. So in the atmosphere nitrogen is there. So plant cannot uptake this plentifully available nitrogen in the atmosphere. Okay, so plants cannot use nitrogen in its gaseous form from the atmosphere, so it must be transformed fast. During nitrogen fixation, your first step is nitrogen fixation. So what is the process here? So during this process, bacteria transform nitrogen gas into ammonia, which can be absorbed by plant. Okay, so ammonia formula I told you that NH3. So N2 will be converted to NH3. Okay, so there are some sorts of specific bacteria who plays the role. So let us see. So here you see microorganisms fixing their azotobacter, then azospirillum, then clostridium, then cyanobacteria. Okay, so they require the enzyme nitrogenase and inhibited by oxygen and inhibited by ammonia. Okay, so Clostridium and cyanobacteria, they inhibited by ammonia. Then rates of nitrogen fixation, if we will discuss, then different bacteria has the different capacity of nitrogen fixation. So rhizobium, legume, they have the capacity to produce more quantity of nitrogen fixation. Okay, that is 200 to 300, and cyanobacteria most, that is 30 to 40, and rhizosphere association, that is 2 to 25. The unit is in kg nitrogen per hectare per year. Okay, so next come to the second step, that is ammonification. Okay, here you see second step is your ammonification. So ammonification is your decomposers like bacteria transform the nitrogen containing parts of the organic matter, that is dead organism and waste, into ammonia. Okay, so ammonification means after all the living organisms have used the organic nitrogen, decomposer bacteria convert the nitrogen to ammonia. So in ammonification process, your ammonia is formed. Okay, this is your second step, ammonification. Then third is your nitrification. Nitrification means there are also some sorts of bacteria, they transform ammonia into nitrates. In the second step, the ammonia was formed. Okay, here you see in your second ammonification process, the ammonia is formed, and in the third step, that is in nitrification, the ammonia is again converted to nitrates, which plant can absorb. Then your what happens here? Two steps reaction that occurs together in nitrification. Okay, are you getting my point? So two steps are here. In first step, catalyzed by nitrosomonas, what happens here? So ammonia plus oxygen, that will be formed by, or it will form nitrate in the second step. Okay, NO2, when it will combine with oxygen, it will give you nitrate. So for this reaction to occur spontaneously and speedily, what should be the condition of the your pH level? So optimal pH is between 6.2 to 8. Okay, if the pH condition will be in between 6.6 to 8, then the nitrification process will be optimum or will be in good rate. But if the pH will be less than 6, then the rate of conversion will be slow. And if the pH value will be less than 4.5, means more acidic, if the medium will be, then the reaction will be inhibited, means the conversion of your nitrates from ammonia will be inhibited. Okay, then come to the fifth step. What is your fifth step? That is, I have said you, I have explained that denitrification. Okay, then fourth is your assimilation, then is denitrification. So now in assimilation, what happen? The process by which plants absorb ammonia or nitrate. So your in ammonification, your ammonia is produced, and in nitrification, from ammonia nitrate is produced. Both can be absorbed by the plants. So in assimilation, what happened? The plants, they absorb ammonia or nitrates through their roots to make protein. Okay, so now the ammonia and nitrate, it is easily absorbed by the plants, and the plant will uptake these two elements and they can produce proteins. Okay, so animals get nitrates through eating the plants. How they obtain the nitrates? When they eat the raw plant, then nitrate deposited in the different plant body will go to their body. Okay, so this is known as assimilation. Then we will discuss the last step, that is denitrification. So denitrification means what? Nitrification means formation of nitrate, but in denitrification what will happen? Removes a limiting nutrient from the environment. It will remove. Okay, so some bacteria convert nitrates in the soil to nitrogen gas. So what is the uh, end product of this? So formation of the nitrogen gas, which is released into the atmosphere. So why it is called as a cycle? Now I hope that you could understand, because from the atmosphere first nitrogen came, and through some nitrogen fixing bacteria it convert to ammonia. Okay, or it is fixed. Then in the last step, again by denitrification process, through denitrifying bacteria, they convert this nitrate again to nitrogen gas, which will be released to the atmosphere. So this gas comes from the atmosphere, and again by moving in a cyclic process through 4 steps, okay, or 5 steps. Nitrification is the last and 5th step. Okay, so through denitrification it again goes to the atmosphere, which says that it is one cyclic process. Okay, dear students, you got my point or not? Okay, so here you see how the reaction takes place. So NO3, when it will combine with C6H12O6 means glucose, okay, it will give you nitrogen molecule along with water. So then it is not inhibited by ammonia microbial reaction, and nitrate is the terminal electron acceptor. Okay, so these are the processes for nitrogen cycle. So my dear students, I hope that you are now clear on this matter. Okay, how nitrogen cycle is operating in our environment and why it is a part of our biogeochemical cycle. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the chat box. Thank you, and we will meet in our next video in the next discussion. And when this unit will be completed, I will bring some multiple choice questions and what should be the important questions. Okay, what should be the important questions in this unit. Okay, thank you.